Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's been a while, and that's all entirely on me. So today's video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about why that's been, where I've been, uh, you know, the plans I have for the channel, and to start a discussion with you guys, because I want to get your input on some of these things, because some of the things I want to do, I'm not entirely sure how I want to implement them. So I want to get your guys' input. So let's start off with where I've been. As I said, I've been gone about 2 months. I haven't had a video since the Rune Factory 3 special one. But to answer where I've been, I have to kind of go back even further than that. So, those who are longtime viewers of the channel may remember when I used to release a video every week. Um, and then sometime around late May, early June, that kind of started dropping off to about every other week at best. And around that time, the quality of my videos also started to slowly start to drop off further and further until the Rune Factory video, which was just nowhere near the quality it should have been. The reason for that is I started a new job at the end of May. I work at a hospital, it's a round the clock position, and unfortunately, we are still short staffed, but back then it was way worse. We're supposed to have 6 people in my position. I was the second one they had. We had other people from across the department helping out covering shifts, but no one who was just dedicated for the position. So, like when I came on, they were working 7 days a week and having 3 or 4 of those days being double shifts. So you're talking 10, 11 shifts a week. It was insane. Um, we got me trained up rather quick, but even so, I was still doing 6 to 8 shifts a week, cutting definitely drastically off, but still working 50, 60 plus hours every week. On top of that, I was driving a little over 50 miles one way to get to or from work. So, even if it was a scheduled, like a standard, like 8 hour day with a half hour lunch, you'd factor in the commute and I would be gone about 11 hours every day. Um, and if I'm doing that every day, you can imagine I don't have a lot of time to record, to do the editing, to make thumbnails, and so on. Not to say that that I wasn't trying out new things. You can definitely see that with my video on why representation in gaming matters, where I was trying new techniques and so on. But still, the quality, especially by the time the Rune Factory video came out, specifically Rune Factory 3 special one, I was not happy with the quality. That one, for example, I came home, I got myself a quick dinner, I recorded, uploaded it, went to bed. You know, it was one take, no edits, nothing, none of that. So I made the decision that if I don't have the time to make a video that I'm not happy with, then I'm not going to put out videos. I'm not going to try to keep to a set one a week, one every other week kind of schedule. I want my videos to be decent quality, you know. So, uh, it's taken that time. We only just a couple weeks ago finally got a third person. Like we've had her for a few months, but she's a little bit slower to train. So she only just a couple weeks ago got to where she can work on her own again. So now it's like now we're finally stepping back on the shifts. Around that same time, that same actual weekend that she went from in training to uh, being fully able on her own, excuse me, I was moving. So I have my own place finally. I'm sitting in my living room. My laptop is sitting out on the I've got the recline. I'm in a recliner with the legs up. Put the laptop here because the movers broke my desk. So that's why I'm on the headset again instead of the nice mic and all that. I'm still getting settled in. My desk has been fixed. I should be bringing it home here in the next few days. Um, so I'm definitely going to start getting back into the swing of things. Unfortunately, I'm going to try and minimize it, but I do have upstairs neighbors, and they do make a lot of noise when they walk around. So hopefully that won't affect the videos too much. I'll do what I can to try and edit that out or use something like Audacity to cut out some of the ambient noise. I've been learning a lot of techniques, even though I've been not able to make the videos. I've still been, checking out, how to do like Audacity or things that you can do with Audacity and other systems, OBS and so on, so that I can still make better quality videos going forward. Now, as for the content of what the channel is going to be, you know, I'm not entirely sure on that. And that's where the discussion I want to have going with you guys is. One of the things with YouTube is it encourages you to be very niche. Um, some channels can be dedicated to like a single game. Think of all the channels that are just Stardew Valley. And those are great, and I love Stardew Valley, but I have ADHD. I can't stick to just one game all the time. So I was like, okay, let's expand that niche out a little bit. Let's do RPG farm sim hybrids. Things like Rune Factory, things like the My Time at Portia and Sandrock, things like Harvestella. And Harvestella was one of the big first boosts to the channel. If you guys go back in the older style stuff, like way back when I was still doing like Pokemon, I hadn't fully developed the channel's identity yet. Um, and I think it's time that the niche I picked was a little too narrow for this one, the RPG Farm Sim Hybrid. So I think I want to expand it a little bit. Um, you know, Farm Sims and RPGs, so I can do, for example, Fae Farm is one I wanted to do a video on. And it's one of the things I was wanting to talk about in that video is it's kind of hard to define. Is it more farm sim, more RPG? It's got a lot of elements of both, but it doesn't really know what it wants to be sometimes. Or rather, it's not that it doesn't know what it wants to be, but what it wants to be is defying the traditions of that. And it's a fun game because of it. Um, Silent Hope is another one I wanted to do some videos on. And, even though it's in the Rune Factory universe, it's really more of like a Diablo style RPG, like the classic original Diablo where you're going down and down and down and down in the depths. And I like it. It's a fun game. But, both of those are ones that'd be like a little difficult if I'm trying to do just the specific that niche. So I do want to open up a little bit more on that. I also think, I might want to look into some more educational stuff, looking at like my video on um, why diversity and representation in gaming matters. Now, I got a lot of backlash on that one. Not as much as I could have, considering how small the channel is. But if you look at the comment sections, aside from like one person who was like, awesome, good job, everyone was like, no, it doesn't. Representation doesn't matter, fighting, pushing back. And I knew that would happen. Unfortunately, the gaming community is got that strange dichotomy of sometimes it's really, really welcoming and really encouraging of people, and other times you have those people that's like things like Gamergate that make us all look bad. Oh no, it's those who are very insistent. It's the straight white men's club. Um, so it's like, okay, do I want to make a second channel? There are definitely channels out there that do excel at doing that breaking that YouTube thing of the niche. Three ones by other trans creators that I can think of off the top of my head are Jesse Gender, who does a lot of Star Trek themed stuff, as well as a lot of, you know, feminism and LGBT kind of content, trans education, that kind of stuff. Um, Council of Geeks, very similar, but replace Star Trek with Doctor Who and some other geeky stuff, but also very educational discussions. Excuse me again. Or Dead Domain is another channel that does gaming stuff, very more focused on um, shooters than like farming sims, but does also look at, hey, their channel got big from the fact that they're like, hey, I live right near Spokane chapter of the NIFB. Let me go infiltrate them. And that video got helped the channel grow big, and so they've looked on into that kind of thing. Um, there has been a big surge of people in just in the 2 months that I've been gone. We've gained over 50 subscribers. When I left, we were at 158. Today, we are at about 209, I think it is. So that makes me wonder, okay, we have all these new subscribers. Did they come because I did that educational thing on the LGBT thing? Is it because My Time at Sandrock just came out and they're seeing my older content on that? So let's get to discussion going on this of, hey, do you guys want me to keep doing just game guides? Do you want me to do a second channel where I can discuss those more educational matters? You know, think like the old extra credits kind of stuff of ways that the gaming industry and touches on topics of like LGBT issues and race and stuff like that. Like, maybe get together. I would love to one day get together with, say, for example, LaRue, who does a lot of Megaten stuff and discuss, was the changes of like the racial changes of characters in the first Western release of Revelations Persona as opposed to like the later PSP remake. Is that good or is that bad? What are the thoughts on that? Talking with other creators like later Virgilia and looking at the cultural context. There's a lot of things that I really want to do with this channel, and it's like, okay, I gotta struggle with, do I need to make a second channel for these? Because of the way YouTube algorithms work. Because let's talk the example of Jessie Gender, for example. She does a lot of Star Trek stuff, a lot of transgender feminism, political stuff. And sometimes those overlap with the basis, but sometimes she has a lot of people who comes just for the Star Trek stuff or just for the, political and educational stuff. And so YouTube that can bite you sometimes. I know other content creators who have a separate channel just for like one channel just for the videos and one channel just for the streaming. And we have had live streams in the past. Um, I don't know when those are going to resume because of the constantly shifting schedules. At work, we shift every 4 weeks. So one of the things I want to do is make sure that if I'm doing those, so that they're kind of the set time. It's not like, oh, hey, today I'm starting at 5. Next week I'm going to start at 10 o'clock at night. Those kinds of things. Yeah. So I want to get the input from you guys. Join the Discord, hit me up on Twitter, hit the comment section below. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe, obviously, so you get this content because it is going to start coming out again. I am going to expand definitely a little bit into like, at least the genres. Um, a little bit of review, a little bit of guides, those kinds of things, the stuff that helped build the channel. But sometimes I do also want to try and expand a little bit, and I want to get your guys' input. Should that expansion be within the same channel? Should it move to a second channel? You know, let's hear from you. In the meantime, I'm gonna get back to it, getting settled in here, and I will hopefully be back in the next couple weeks with a video. I don't know if it'll be before or after the end of November, might be the first week in December. But for now, I'll catch you later. See ya.